Philadelphia has it.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to DSM pregame live streaming to you here exclusively on DSM Media's YouTube channel. Guys, first and foremost, if you're new to the channel, make sure to check us out on Twitter first at DSM_media. Hit that follow button. We greatly appreciate it. And while you're over on the page, make sure to check out the link tree. It's in our bio. It'll take you to every social media platform. We are available on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, all that good stuff. But most importantly, make sure to check out the YouTube link specifically. Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and it is the best spot to get your thoughts, comments, and questions pulled up on the screen like so. I am one half of your host here, Dylan Davis. You can find me on Twitter at DylanJD98. In the co-host chair to my right today, my man Parcero. You can find him on Twitter as well at Parcero Philly. My man Phillies finally get the first win of the 2023 season up in the Bronx against the Yankees. They're 1-4 now to start the year after that 4-1 victory. How's it feel, man? How's it feel to get that first win and know that they are not coming back to Citizens Bank Park winless to face the Reds?
Well, first off, happy Wednesday to you, my brother Dylan. But listen, hey, we're back. World Series is back. We're going 158-4. No, but in all seriousness, like, you know, I always compare it to like hockey. Like when a hockey team's going on a scoreless drought, what do they need to do? Get that ugly type of goal. And sometimes you need that type of win. It wasn't the prettiest, but they got the job done. They held off. The pitching was much better. And Dylan, who would have thought that it would have taken Matt Strahm for us to get this win like so? I mean, we all probably picture that being the first win. But this is the hope, is that hopefully this builds some confidence and they can just really the problems has been it's just been the bleeding. They haven't been able to stop the bleeding, and then the runs can't help out either. So hopefully this builds confidence within that pitching staff, and the bats will come. That's definitely not the concern here.
No, absolutely, man. Another double-digit base runner performance from the Phillies last night. 10 hits, 1 walk for the Fightins. The bats are not the concern, like you said. They got a couple timely hits yesterday as Kyle Schwarber and Brandon Marsh started the party with big moonshots out to right field. You had some timely 2-out hitting by Trey Turner and Kyle Schwarber later on in the top of the fourth to really kind of push this game to a 4-run lead there. And then, like you said, Strahm, the bullpen, that bullpen game was phenomenal. The biggest thing to me is the bullpen didn't walk a single soul. Like that was huge to not give that dangerous Yankees lineup any free passes, any extra base runners there. Obviously, Kimbrel made it a little nerve-wracking in the bottom of the ninth, allowing a solo home run to DJ LeMahieu. But all in all, they got the win. And then they got some pretty positive news this morning, man. A quick update. Bryce Harper hit live BP on the field yesterday. He's going to do so again today. He's going to continue to do so when he returns to Philly. The only really last hurdle before they can start to gear Harper up a little bit is the fact that he's not able to slide yet, right? If he slides at first, he could rupture, what was done and in the elbow. So they need clearance from the doctors before he can do that. Then things can get pushed along, man. But how important, how exciting is this Bryce news?
Well, why does he need a slide, Dylan? He just hits bombs.
Yeah, seriously.
No, but in all seriousness, I am curious because obviously, remember last year when we went through this situation, he came back quicker than we anticipated before as well. But listen, obviously his body recovers quicker than most. You know, I go back to Sirianni talking about Jalen Hurts.
Right. LeBron James school of body parts, right?
Seriously. But like you obviously have to keep in consideration what the medical report does say. So it's just going to be continued monitoring. But like, could we possibly get him before the summer starts? Like that would be pretty incredible. And so obviously the quicker the better, but I definitely feel like if he's ready to go, then he's ready to go.
Yeah.
I mean, he's proved it before.
Yeah, I don't really think they're going to handle him with kid gloves. I think he knows his body well enough. I think they've seen it in recent history, as you just mentioned, with other injuries, the way he can heal quickly and come back. And I don't think he's going to rush it. I think Bryce knows his body well enough to say, hey, man, I'm not putting us or myself at risk to where if I come back too early, I could potentially miss the regular season and so on. The important thing to me here is when he initially announced that he was having the Tommy John surgery, rightfully so, like he's not going to DH for the rest of his long career still, right? the report was what? All-Star break. That's middle of July. Then before the season starts, Dombrowski doesn't put him on the 60-day injury list. That ends that 60-day time is May 29th. And to me, that told me something in itself because Dombrowski seems like a realistic person. I don't think he was doing that out of a hope and a whim that hopefully Bryce can be ready by then. I think he was seeing the progression. And now you get even more positive news that he's already hitting live. He's already doing his workout and routine in the cage. Bryce Harper could be back before the end of May. And I think that's pretty incredible.
Yeah, and like obviously we're hearing the BPs have been going smooth, so that's always very positive, and it definitely accelerates things. I think my main question mark is when he does come back, like what do you do now? Because obviously we're out Reese, and so you have a log jam at DH. So it's gonna be interesting how Topper kind of does handle that. But I mean, you're putting Bryce Harper as your DH. Like there's just no debate about that. But it would be interesting how they handle that.
To me, absolutely. I just think it eliminates the need for any kind of Jake Cave, right? Like, so to me,
after yesterday, you're gonna bump.
Yeah, he's in the lineup against it. I don't mind Jake Cave. I'm just saying, to me, when you have the trio of Bryce, Nick, and Schwarber, those two were acquired last year for a specific reason. Somebody's DHing, right? Now with the Reese injury, I definitely hear you, but I think it would be Halls at first. One of the outfielders is DHing, and if it's against the lefty and Topper wants to go that way, Bohm's at first, Sosa's at third. One of the outfielders are still DHing. I don't think there's any more outside of like the off days, right? I don't think there's any more Hall DH, Bohm DH, anything like that. So
why is it that like last year I felt like they made it seem like Derek Hall couldn't really play first base? I thought he's been fine at first.
And here's the ironic part, right? If you think Derek Hall can't play first base, what were you watching our beloved Rhys Hoskins do at first base in the postseason? Like that's almost as bad as it can possibly get. You know what I'm saying? Like, I
mean, if you look at Derek Hall, I mean, let's be honest. Like he does scream first base.
If there's a spot for him on the field, probably that position.
For sure, man. But no, it'll be interesting to see. But dude, we got power. That's for sure. And once these guys get rolling, that's why we always say to just relax because the power is going to come. It's just going to take some time.
Yep. I mean, you saw it all last year, right? If you didn't learn then and you still don't get it now, you're probably never going to catch on to what this team is built upon, right? And how streaky they are going to be.
Can't wait till we get like that again.
It can be agitating and bad to watch at times for stretches, but you're also going to get a lot of positives and a lot of big high-scoring games and a lot of wins, man. But with that said, game number 6 on deck in Yankee Stadium tonight, 1:05 first pitch, some afternoon baseball, and you get the top 2 of the order. You get Garrett Cole on the bump for the Yanks, and Nola looks to bounce back after his opening day blunder today in New York. Parcero, when you look at this pitching matchup, obviously we'll talk about Cole a little bit more when we get to the Phillies lineup, specifically looking at Aaron Nola. Where's your headspace at with Knowles today against this dangerous Yankees lineup?
I mean, I'd be lying to you if I told you I feel confident about him going up there. I mean, I do have my concerns, especially like I don't even know what this weather is going to be like up there in the Bronx. Obviously,
apparently
we talked about
windy.
Off the air, like it's weird down here, so I can only imagine what it's like up there in the Bronx. But I mean, I feel like Nola will also be okay, but there's always that lingering worry about the one pitch, like I always talk about. Like Nola will always roll in the beginning of his starts, and it just takes one pitch, and then the inning just avalanches on him, and that's what we're trying to work on right now. We all know Nola is good. We know Nola could put up ace type stuff, but it's just that one pitch, and we'll see with this one. And obviously, I still haven't looked at the Yankees lineup there. But that's really going to be my concern. But these are the 2 pitchers, if you remember, that got really affected by a spider tack when they made that rule a couple years ago. And both of their numbers dwindled down, and it was very evident, and everyone kind of noted that. But it should be an interesting matchup for sure. Who can make the least amount of mistakes, I guess, for this one, right?
No, I'm with you, man. I'm lacking some confidence as well, but at the end of the day, the bottom line is you need a big time Nola start tonight. And I think he needs it mentally and personally. I think the club needs it, obviously, to have a chance to get win number 2 on the year and win this series, which is the ultimate goal. And I think the fan base needs it because Parcero, I'm going to be honest with you, dude. If he collapses in the 4th or 5th inning again, or he gets shelled from the jump, and they come home and they introduce this team to the home crowd, I'm not certain after a 1-5 start with him being at the center of 2 bad performances that crowd, potentially sellout crowd, is going to be quite welcoming to Aaron Nola, especially when you have the contract extension talks kind of go down the drain and could potentially be his last year in a Phillies uniform. He himself, the team, the fans, everybody needs a solid Knowles day today to feel confident moving forward.
And in turn, man, let's say he does go out there and gives you like 6-7 solid innings, and that's a great momentum boost for him as well, man. So go out there. Listen, it's Nola, you know you're good. You know you have the stuff. Just don't get in your head and just go out there and pitch your stuff. You'll be all right, man.
Yeah, man. You mentioned the Yankees lineup. I'll give it to you right here. Here's what Aaron Nola is going up against. It looks the same to me here. We have DJ LeMahieu leading off, Aaron Judge in the 2-hole, Anthony Rizzo back in the lineup after the night off last night. Gleyber Torres DHing batting 4th, Josh Donaldson batting 5th, Cabrera 6th, Cordero 7th, Louis Trevino batting 8th, and Volpe at shortstop batting 9th. So pretty similar. No Aaron Hicks, who we just mentioned booze for Nola in Philadelphia potentially. Aaron Hicks, I don't know how much playing time he's going to keep getting up there in New York right now, man. But that's what Nola's facing. Before we move on to the Phillies lineup, if you had to give me an X factor for Nola, an important spot in that lineup that he needs to be able to work through with confidence, where in that Yankees lineup I just read off does he need to be successful? I mean, obviously you have the Judge, right? But no Giancarlo Stanton. I just realized that, but yeah.
Yeah, I realized that one too. I mean, I'm going to be cliche with it only because we're talking about confidence, but the top of the order for the Yankees is pretty daunting. I mean, like you got LeMahieu, Judge, and Rizzo to start it off. I mean, I got to go right there, and obviously, let's see how we start off this game when Nola goes up against those pitchers. I want to see him get through those guys. It doesn't have to, obviously you don't have to strike out everybody, but let's not get the bases loaded here for was it Gleyber Torres batting 4th? Yeah, let's not get the bases loaded for him, all right? Because we know he can knock the leather off the ball too.
Yeah, man. I think it's important that Nola works the top of the order fairly carefully, but do not allow extra. You can't walk a lot. You cannot allow free passes to this lineup, man. You cannot allow an Aaron Judge to come up and be so tight and careful around him that you're just putting 2 runners on for a Josh Donaldson or an Anthony Rizzo, right? So you need a solid Knowles performance because the Phillies are going up against the Yankees ace in Garrett Cole today. Now, here's your Philadelphia Phillies lineup for Game 6 of the young season. Leading off still at shortstop, Trey Turner. In left field batting in the 2-hole, Kyle Schwarber. Catching batting 3rd, JT Realmuto. At first base in the cleanup spot, Derek Hall. DHing batting 5th is Nick Castellanos. Back at second base, moving up to the 6-hole, Bryson Stott. Back down in the 7-hole at the hot corner on third base is Alec Boehm. Jake Cave to start again in the outfield and right field batting 8th. And then Brandon Marsh finishes up this lineup batting 9th out in center field. Not a ton of movement on this one. Boehm back down to the 7-hole with JT back in the lineup in the 3-hole. Stott up in the 6-hole. What sticks out to you in this lineup? What do you dislike from Rob Thompson today?
I mean, it's obviously like you mentioned, it is a lot of the same. I mean, I'll say this: when it comes to this lineup, everyone's going to find their way. And obviously, we just talked about Jake Cave finally getting a hit. I thought Brandon Marsh as well did a good job of bouncing back yesterday. Mm-hmm. Obviously, we talked about the blunder on Monday, and that was a big momentum shift. So I was really pleased to see him. But I would like to see something from Trey. Let's get he's gotten a couple triples. I got a couple double. I believe
looking for that. He's got a double. Yeah, he's got a couple singing. You're looking for that explosiveness, though.
Right. And so that's what I'm looking for here today. That top of the rotation. Well, how about it's so funny. I love Scotty. I could see Scotty saying this. What's popping, fellas? Castellanos back. That's another one too. Let's see Nick Castellanos. Castellanos has been solid so far today, but
yes.
Let's get that homer as well. Was it we got Boehm and Schwarber, the only home run hitters?
Marsh,
so far, right?
Marsh went deep yesterday
right.
as well. So 3 home runs on the season from those 3. But no, I totally agree with you. You're looking for the table setter today, especially against a guy like Garrett Cole. Make him uneasy on the mound. I don't know if much makes him uneasy, but a leadoff single or double by Trey Turner whether it be the first inning or maybe the fourth inning, right? To kind of set the table for the middle of this lineup and make Garrett Cole a little uncomfortable and have to check over his shoulder, or check over at first base before he delivers to a Kyle Schwarber or JT Realmuto. Speaking of JT, man, he has great numbers against Garrett Cole, by the way. He's 11 for 17 lifetime with a home run against Garrett Cole. He's batting .647. Nick Castellanos, according to RotoWire as well, is 4 for 11 with 4 RBIs against Garrett Cole. He's batting .364. So those two dudes have seen Cole a lot and have had very good success. Trey's batting .286, only 7 appearances, 2 hits out of 7 at-bats for Trey Turner here. But those two guys are the ones I'm looking at against the Garrett Cole today.
That's why we pay the big bucks to Dylan Davis here at DSM Media, ladies and gentlemen. Stats like that. Let's go. I like that. But no, I like that. And for sure, especially in the middle of the lineup, we'll see if JT can eat on Garrett Cole here again today.
Yeah, man. JT, I believe, has not had a hit in his last 2 games before getting the day off last night. So you're looking for him to bounce back. One other spot here I'm looking at, I want to get your thoughts on this. You asked me the other day when we did our recap how important it is for Rob Thompson to figure out a solidified lineup and stop teetering and changing things day in and day out. Bohm, obviously because of no JT, I understand that, but Bohm with his hot hand gets the nod in the 3-hole, doesn't get a hit last night, and he's back in the 7-hole. I understand JT's back, but do you like the big shift for Alec Bohm in this lineup from Rob Thompson?
I mean, personally, no, I don't. But also, in turn, I do feel like Bohm's confidence is high to start off the season that it doesn't matter. But for the continuity of the lineup, I don't like the musical chairs that he's playing with the lineup. So I think you gotta solidify a role for Alec Bohm just for everyone else in that batting lineup, because it's always great to know who's gonna be batting in front of you and behind you. So I definitely think that Topper, man, let's get something going as far as consistency with that lineup.
I agree with you, man. Need a consistent lineup. It's what great teams do. It's what pennant teams do. You saw the Phillies later on in their postseason run have a solidified lineup. You had no questions outside of whether it was a lefty or a righty on the mound, because you knew that Sosa and Vierling were coming in. You knew where they were going to be slotted each and every day. And now I get it. No Reese, no Harper to start the year. You know, you're playing musical chairs like you suggested, but you need some continuity, some consistency out of this lineup, and Thompson needs to start to figure it out quick, in my opinion. Parcero, before I give the people the best bets on the pregame show and we get our predictions here, if the Phillies were to win today, who is your X factor? Who is your player of the game?
I think that it's still going to be the X factor is still going to be the pitching, right? Like you talked about Aaron Nola. I think the bats got what they needed yesterday to get going.
Start. Yeah.
I also don't think they're going to put up 9 runs, but I think for the pitching, again, keep that bleeding down. You saw what they did yesterday, only 1 run in total in a bullpen game. Aaron Nola is going to be extremely huge the way he starts this off. But I think that in general, if we can get 6 innings from Aaron Nola, that'll be, listen, it's analytic age of baseball. If you can get 6 innings from Aaron Nola, I'd definitely be happy from that. Get solid bullpen contribution as well. And let's get 3 to 4 runs here today. And that, I feel like that should be able to get the win. That's all that matters. Doesn't need to be pretty. Just get the win here today. Go back home to the fans.
6 innings is my ideal number for a top-end starter, for an ace, like a guy like Noah Wheeler, because we talk lineup role definition that I'm big on. I'm huge on role definition in the bullpen. I talked about it on the Season Outlook show. Rob Thompson is flipping this bullpen around a little bit. But to me, if you can get through 6 and you can organize your 7, 8, 9 on a semi-daily basis, how you like it, whether that be Alvarado in the 7th, Soto in the 8th, Dominguez in the 9th, however you do that, then you can kind of get that consistency. It always takes me back to the Phillies World Series year. Goddamn, I'm going to forget who the 7th inning guy was. Wow, this is going to bother me, but they had a 7th inning setup guy. Then they went to Ryan Matson in the 8th, and then it was
Bastardo
time. What'd you say?
Was it Bastardo?
It might no. Whatever. It's really going to bother me, but Nonetheless, if you can get 6 out of Nola today, that is the goal. I completely agree with you. That is my star of the game in Aaron Nola today. I took him on opening day. Why, Parcero? Not just because is he important, who he's battling, Jacob deGrom. He gets that same type of battle today against the team's another ace in Garrett Cole, who was dominant in his first start. No runs allowed, 11 Ks on opening day for Garrett Cole. Nola needs his best stuff today, man, and he needs it early, and he cannot allow the Phillies to get behind 2, 3, 4 runs out of the gate, because then, the floodgates can open for this Yankees lineup, guys. With that said, before we get to our game predictions, here are your best bets for the day, brought to you by DSM Pregame Live. As you look at the top, I want to go money line. I really do. And I'm going to get to why the Phillies can win this game in a second. But if you were giving me a run line of plus a run and a half, and the juice isn't crazy, normally a plus 1.5 for a close game like this is considered like minus 195, minus 205. At minus 155, I will eat some of the juice here and take the Phillies plus 1.5 on the run line. Second on the list, I'm riding with the team total. It cashed last night. They lowered it today. Obviously, I understand you're going against Garrett Cole. Yes, I know it's windy and some bad conditions up in New York. That could, oddly enough, play to a lineup's favor if you can play small ball today. So Phillies team total over 2.5, Parcero. 3 runs. That's all it's going to take today. Phillies over team total at minus 130 on DraftKings. And then my guy, Nick Castellanos, I mentioned it in during the lineup card. He is hitting almost 400 against Garrett Cole in his career. 1+ hit for Nick today is at minus 140. So nothing with plus juice, nothing that can win you a big payday, but I'm very confident in this card today as we look to get above 500 for the first time on the season. Those are your Phillies best bets, brought to you by DSM.
All right, Dylan, real quick. Here we go. 2008. Chad Durbin, Clay Condrey, J.C. Romero.
J.C. Romero. There it is.
J.C. Romero. There you go.
There it is. Thank you for that one. Chad Durbin. God, remember that dude?
Names, man. Those are some names for sure.
Wow, takes you back for a second. But anyway, man, speaking of Phillies World Series and a team that they played in 2009, do the Phillies get a win today versus the New York Yankees and improve to 2-4 and win the series, Parcero?
I'm gonna go with no. I don't think we win here today. Bold, I hate to say, but I don't think we win today.
Yeah. All right, I'm flying high right now. I think yesterday was the confidence booster that this lineup and that this staff needed. And to me, again, we focus so much on Aaron Nola on the show, and rightfully so. But you got that bullpen game yesterday. Not only do I need you to go deep into this one because of how much of the bullpen was used last night, but also the bullpen just had a successful night against this Yankees lineup. You as the ace cannot come out and lay an egg today for your second consecutive start of the season. So I think Aaron Nola shows up today. I think the Phillies lineup scores, I think right around last night. I think this is a 4 or 5 run game for the Phillies. I actually think that they have some success against Cole. Cole will not go past 6 in this game, and I think they score a run or 2 against the bullpen late. I'm going to go with a Phillies win of 4-3 today. I think it's a closer game than last night, and we are sitting on the edge of our seats for the Phillies win. But that's the bottom line, man. You kind of almost need to forget about the first series. Obviously, heading home 2-4 is not going to look pretty on paper, but the bottom line is if you win today, you just took 2 of 3 in Yankee Stadium. You won the series, and that's the goal for every series you play in the regular season, right? So
just get the series win, man.
Exactly. That is the main goal today, however they do it. Pitching, the bats, a combination of both. Guys, first pitch is just over 25 minutes away. That is going to wrap up this edition of DSM Pregame Live, Phillies Yankees preview. Guys, don't forget to check us out on Twitter first at DSM_media. Hit that follow button. Check out the link tree in the bio. And don't forget, hit that subscribe button on the YouTube channel. We're at 718 right now. We're on the road to 800. Help us get there. It's free, Parcero. It's YouTube. Daily content. It's daily free, Philadelphia sports content. Check it out on YouTube at DSM Media. For myself, for Parcero, and the rest of the crew, have a great rest of your Wednesday.
Go Phils.